first of all, let's clarify. Where's the conclusion?
One must therefore.
Yeah, one must therefore either abandon the opinion of the majority of commentators. So let's just clarify that. If you're abandoning the opinion of the majority of commentators, what are you thinking?
That Caravaggio
That guy, yeah?
is
Influenced or what?
Well,
an early practitioner of Baroque.
Is not a practitioner, right, of the style. In other words, I just simplified it in my head as to not be, right? So C is not be, or what? Reject the definition of Mather. And I was like, what? Where did that guy come from, right? Guy comes out of nowhere. If you're rejecting that definition, then what does this person think? The definition says for what? Any painting to be considered B, it must display these three things. So either you don't think it's B, or you reject the idea that if it's B, what? Then you have opulence, etc. Right? So you either have to say it's not B, or you say it's not this. I would not draw this. I'm just trying to clarify in our minds what it's saying. Okay? Now, it can't be both. So, if you think it is B, then you have to reject this idea, right? Which means you must not think what? If it's B, it will lead to opulence and whatever, right? So this person must think, so what must be true about the painting? This is a sufficient assumption question, right? It says if assumed. So there's one problem. Yeah, Michelle?
He thinks it's Baroque, right?
Um,
I was saying that, like, if it is the Baroque style, then it doesn't display whatever.
if it is Baroque, then it must not have O, opulence and all that stuff, because either you're rejecting that or you're saying it's not Baroque, right? Either it's not B, or if it is B, then you're rejecting this, and so you must think it doesn't have those things.
Well, you're rejecting that definition of Baroque, right?
That definition of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because he's saying most commentators actually have kind of a different definition of Baroque.
Exactly. So most commentators have a different definition, and they come to the conclusion that it's B, right? So they said most believe that it's B. So you're either going to have to say that they're wrong and say that it's not B, or you're going to say that it is B. Yay, it is B. But reject this definition. If you think it's B and you have to reject this definition, then you must think that it's not O, right? Because according to this definition, if it is Baroque, then it would be opulent and so on. So, answer choice E, O, etc., all those things are not present in his paintings. That's what must be true. Or not what must be true. That if that is true, now this conclusion makes sense that you would have to reject this idea. If that were not true, if you could have O in Baroque paintings, or in this guy's paintings, then you could say it's Baroque and not reject this definition, because you would just say, oh, well, it has opulence, just like the definition says it would. Taylor, how do you feel about that?
no, I'm following along.
Yeah.
It's fine.
This is one where you'd want to ideally predict it. It's got to connect into that, because otherwise the conclusion doesn't make any sense, because the definition just comes out of nowhere. Answers we're debating. We can get rid of these other ones pretty quickly, actually. Answer choice A, what makes it wrong? One word.
Historical. No,
Typically. That's too weak, right? We're making such a broad claim. It's either got to be this or it's got to be that. If you're going to be that strong, you can't have any exceptions, right? Answer choice B. Need not means what? Not necessarily. Again, that's way too weak. Answer choice C. What word?
Widely.
Widely doesn't mean always. Answer choice D?
Usually.
Usually. Again, you can have exceptions. It's not strong enough to get to such a strong conclusion. Answer choice E is the only one that's relevant and strong enough. Sound good? All right. That's one way to get there.